Hello and welcome to Grandmas and Grandpa's Tuning Podcast. I'm Jolanta Gallagher, your host, and today we are having our first guest. We're very lucky to have this conversation with Pavel Zabka, a young Czech musician, an actor, and the concert tour manager of Gaia Mesiah Band. Welcome to the program, Pavel.
Thank you very much for inviting me, Jolanta.
Great, it's our great pleasure. I must say that we've got a bit of delay because of the difference between our cities, Prague and Sydney. Yes, so tell us, how is Prague this morning?
Oh, Prague is beautiful. Prague is beautiful. Maybe not in a conventional way because it's really raining today and it's a bit cold, but we had like 30 days of 30 degrees, 35 degrees. It was like a hot pan here in the city. So right now to wake up this morning and see the beautiful humidity in the air and see the rain was really, really beautiful. So for me, really, really beautiful morning.
Great to hear. We're in the middle of winter, so I'm pleased to hear about more sunshine in your part of the world. Now, I have read a little bit about your band. I read that Gaia Mesiah has got 3 females and 1 male. And you mentioned that this man comes actually from Australia. Do you know him well? Can you tell us a little bit about the band?
Yes, of course. The Gaia Mesiah is like you said, it's a Czech female band, and they play hard rock, which is really kind of unusual for a female band, and they are really great. You know, they're not like a pop band here in Czech Republic, but they are famous in what they do. So every time we have like concerts for 300 people, 500 people on festivals, few thousands every time. So it's really great. And also what I loved about this band is the fact that for me they're doing like the real pure rock and roll, because they're in a business just for the music. All of that, you know, partying and drinking and all of this stuff, they are all between 40 and 50 years old, and all of those things, they all have that behind. And right now it's really just about the music, you know. So when we are going out, I as a tour manager don't have to deal with, you know, broken windows at the hotel rooms, broken televisions, you know, band doing something at 5 a.m. at the hotel bar. Nothing like that. It's just purely music, and that's what I really love about it, and I really love about them.
Yes, and I understand that you've got more than 10,000 followers, so people love you, obviously.
Yes.
And Pavel, tell us, so you're touring large cities as well as smaller towns, villages?
Yes. You know, Czech Republic is not very big country. It's like 10 million people, and so to travel from one end to the other end of our republic is like 6 hours. So we play at big cities. The thing is that during the summer we play big festivals, where it's always like a few thousand people, and then we have a tour which is at the fall and at the spring, and during that time we are circling around the republic and doing at the clubs.
Yes, and I did notice, I had a look at one of the videos, that you rehearse and sometimes play your gig in a van, in a large van. You've got the drum kit, every instrument there.
Yes. That's one of those special things that we with the band did during the COVID, you know, because from out of nothing, we weren't allowed to play, so we were trying to figure out, you know, any way how to do it. And here in Czech Republic last year came in power the stupid law that the band and the fans have to be separated, and you almost have to prove that you are from Czech Republic and show your birth certificate to just get to the stage, really ridiculous. But anyway, our manager thought, hey, I got a little van, let's rebuild it in the shape of old school jukebox. Let's put a band there and travel like this. And we were like, yeah, it sounds kind of interesting. So we did one concert last year this way, and one concert this way was this weekend.
And is it your big bedroom?
It's funny part. It's more like a funny way how to do it. But during that, we realized that that Gaia Mesiah is not only a band that can play big stages, but it also can play like little spots, which are basically you just put the band in a park with a little sound check and everything works. It still works, and that's the awesome thing about it.
Yes, fantastic.
That's the art in music, doesn't matter how they do it, but they have that heart and that emotion in the music, and that's really that make or break factor.
That's fabulous. And I'm curious, how did it all start for you, Pavel? Can you just look back and see that little boy just with music? When did you realize that you love music? It's your passion. Probably at the beginning, you were just responding spontaneously. But do you remember those first moments when you thought, that's what I'd love to do? Do you remember that time?
I don't remember exactly the moment when I said like, yeah, this is what I'm gonna do. But I remember pretty vividly when I was like, how old I was? 5 years old, probably. And my dad had a collection of cassette tapes. And I just every evening, I just put this gigantic, headphones like this big on my small head. And I just went through the cassettes. I went through the cassettes and loved that music. And I found one which was some kind of compilation music that my dad had. And I still to this day, I remember that there was like letter G on the cassette tape. So my dad had also a little notes that on the G, there's this song. And I remember I loved this cassette tape so much that I was listening to it just over and over and over and over and over and over. I remember one time when I was my dad is a veterinarian, and he's working in a field with cows, pigs, and stuff like this. And when I was a little boy, my mom, from some reason, she couldn't be at home to babysit me, so my dad took me to work with him, and he was working like 12 hours a day. And I vividly remember that I said, Dad, I will take this cassette with me. And all that week we were listening just to that cassette tape. And on that cassette tape, I had one really song that I really loved. And I was playing it over and over and over and over. And older I am, I realized that my dad, he had some nerves back then, to get through all that, listen to that song probably like 1,000 times a day, and plus 100 times every other song on that cassette for whole week during the job that he needs to be focused. Pretty amazing. So I think that this was the first thing that I remember that I really fall in love with music. And I think with art in general, because in this time when I was exploring music, at that time, my friend of my mom said, "Hey, I saw your boy at the kindergarten at that little theater that after each year kids do." And she said, "Hey, he's a pretty good singer. He can move. My daughter is going to a folklore group where they dance and when they sing. Don't you want to try it for him?" And my mom was like, "Yeah, why not?" So we tried it. And when I was 5 years old, I started folklore dancing. And I was always dancing with my spouse in my age group. And after this rehearsal, I was waiting for 1 hour for my mom. And after that was the older kids. So I'm not gonna sit in a waiting room for an hour. So I went with the older kids, and within like year, I got so much better that from that moment on, I was the little kid, the little boy, and everybody else was like 3 years older, 5 years older. So in a few years, it basically looked like this, that I was that still little 8-year-old kid. And there was boys who were like 15, 14, puberty, started moving with them and everything like this. But it was really nice for me. This time was really like, how should I say it? Like artistic food for my soul.
Oh,
yes. Some culture food for my soul. And really interesting thing during this almost 13 years that I was dancing. For me, it was so good and so enough as for art and culture that I basically didn't listen to music at all. Every culture or every art that my soul needed was from the dancing, from the singing. And when I was like 15, 10 years later, I got to music. I started playing guitar because my dad was playing guitar, and that was like the first motivation for me. Remembering my dad during the bonfire when he was, playing old country songs. So I wanted to know how to do that too. So I started playing, and but it really all fired up when I was like 15, 16, when it was like the girls looked at, oh, he knows how to sing, oh, he knows how to play. So that was kind of nice. That fired me up for this musician thing. And then one of my friends approached me, hey, do you have electric guitar? And I was like, no, I don't have electric guitar. You should buy one, man. You're a good singer, a good guitar player. And that was basically how it all started.
Yes.
And the funny thing is that I kind of wanted to do it, but I wasn't that persistent. Like I didn't have that drive in me, which was like, I'm gonna do it no matter what. This is the band, they don't want me, doesn't matter, I will find other band. It wasn't working for me like this, but my mind was always subconsciously focused on that thing. So many times in my life, I just basically came across something and somebody asked, hey, do you want to join? And I was like, yeah, why not? Even before thinking.
Yes. So you obviously, you obviously were very open. Yes.
Yeah. And that was always my thing, somebody asked, hey, somebody asked me an example. Hey, there's something completely new that you never done, but it has something to do with music. Want to join? I'm like, yeah, why not? This is the way how I got to playing theater for children. I'm not I never studied acting or something like that. But when I was 25, one of my friends, I should say friends, approached me and said to me, hey, I heard that you can sing. And I was like, yeah, I can sing. Oh, that's great. I'm finding an actor in my new play. And I was like, wait, singing, acting, doesn't matter. Okay, I'll do it. Within 3 weeks, I was standing on a stage and playing my first theater play for kids.
Well, yes. Really cool. Yes, well, Pavel, obviously you're absorbing the music right from the beginning. You had a fantastic opportunity and you were fortunate that your family, your father actually was musical and you were surrounded and submerged by music. So that is really what is very important in the early childhood, isn't it? And being open to all the opportunities that were coming your way. And just having a go. It basically shows that children, if they're given that opportunity, they will take on that direction. That's why it's so important to have music in that very early stage of their development. So I think that's what our listeners wanted to hear, because music can change so much in our lives, can enrich so much. So I'm really very, very impressed with your story. And maybe we have to have you again another time to talk more specifically about the band, but because we focus on grandparents and grandchildren, maybe we could have a little fun for both.
Yes.
The seniors as well as the littlies. And last time I demonstrated some creative possibilities for the grandparents, exploration of sound making objects, and using just simple beat with the concept of fast, slow, loud, soft. And so maybe we can present additional sound making object. Maybe I should start first. And this is a classic. This is a classic. I've got two jars. I don't know whether you can see them. One is larger,
yes,
and the rice is going to impact on the lid, so it's upside down. And so there will be a difference in timbre. Timbre, I've mentioned, is the color, the sound color. So the simple effect that children can use, hold these two jars and imitate. What would you say it's imitating? Can you hear it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, it will be
both Western and riding on a horse.
Yes, and also somebody said, "It's a choo-choo train" as well. You know,
choo-choo train, yeah.
Yeah, the steam train. Another example that we had used last time, it's the cymbal, simplest cymbal. Can you see it? It's the saucepan lid, and everybody can explore the sounds playing on the handle, then on the surface, and on the edge. And one can start building more and more layers of different sounds together, engaging with the family members. And then you've got this rich, fantastic texture of the sound, so impressive. The little one can just play the steady beat. That's what I had last time, the ice cream container with the spoon. Steady beat. And the grandpa, grandma, auntie, the siblings can join in with much more complex, what we call rhythm patterns. So they're longer and shorter sounds. So, and another one is the salt holder from my kitchen, a little drum that we use that for the fast heartbeat. I wonder whether you've got anything with you that you can show and demonstrate to our listeners. They cannot see you, but they will hear it.
Don't worry, I will just so you can see me, I will show you. For example, as I'm a guitarist, so my exploration about sound is mainly in guitar, but I had a roommate once who was doing like percussive guitar, and that was like really eye-opening for me, because I'm used to that guitar sounds like it's a little bit out of tune, but this is the way how the guitar sounds. And now he approached me and he said, no, it's not just that, you know, it's kick drum, it's snare drum, it's percussion like this, and when you put it all together, it could be like.
Wow.
Stuff like this.
Yes, Yes.
you know,
Yes.
and that's and this realization that he showed me that you can basically do an instrument out of anything. You know, just wait a second. This was a guitar, but exactly, you can do, yeah, you know, old Pringles with no Pringles in it. This is just a Pringles,
Yes.
you know, or this little metallic thing for old video films. And you can take this, you can take 1 cup and, for example, little jar, and
yeah, Pavel, for some reason the sound is going off. The sound didn't record, I think. I did hear the first sound, but then you disappeared. The sound disappeared. Can you hold it closer to the mic?
Yes. Okay, so I had like a jar, and under it I have a cup with my coffee. Yeah, those sounds are not that bright, but I think that's the whole point of it. You know, if you are a grandparent and you just want to work with your kid, you don't need an instrument. You just need to think about stuff around you as an instrument. Yes, you know, yes. There's a little story. The famous funk and soul interpret called James Brown. Everybody knows him. He was a real perfectionist, and as for him and his band, he wasn't really loved as a boss of the band, but he taught his musicians very, very important thing. During the rehearsals, he like pointed to the instrument and said to the musician, "What is that you're holding?" "That's a saxophone, sir." "No, it's not." Show to the other one. "What is that you're holding?" "It's a trumpet, sir." "No, it's not. It's a drum. It's a drum." "And you make beat with it. That's all. No tune, no key, no stuff like that. It's just a drum. There's 20 of us, and everybody's holding a drum that sounds a little bit different. And that's what we are doing here right now. And that's the principle that the grandparents can use with their grandkids. You can basically take absolutely everything that you have around your house, or just from your kitchen, take a few pots, few lids, just make a little drumming kit, and then take such a simple thing as a pencil, and now you have drumsticks.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
Pavel, you can do music out of everything. You just have to expand your mind and get through the thinking process of this is this and this is that, and this is used just for this and this is used just for this. No, it's a drum. It's a drum.
Yes, Pavel, would you agree with me? That's fantastic to show the children this activity. The sense of discovery should come from a child at the end. So allowing the child also to look for this object, to experiment, and have the child taking on that big discovery adventure. So a good example is the very first step, and then the children should explore and having this initiative, and that they will have so much greater sense of achievement if they discover those hundreds and hundreds of sounds. But a bit of encouragement and good model, that's a great starting point. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah,
definitely. You know, and also I think that it's good to show this type of musical creativity to kids, but we have to count with one fact that basically everybody in a planet loves music, but not everybody understands music the same way. You know, most of the people understands music from the point of view as a listener. How do you hear it as a whole, and what emotion does it create in you? For me, I'm a musician and I'm a guitarist. I will never hear the music the same way as a listener do. I always hear guitar somewhere, even though the guitar is not in that
Not
music. My brain just works through the instrument I know, and that's like the translating point for me between my head and music I listen to. The guitar is the connecting factor that works with my brain a little bit differently. And there's also a small group of people who have music just there are all of those people who just listen to a radio and they don't care what music is there. It's just background for them. So we have to count with that also when we are working with children, because there are going to be some children who are simply not interested in music, and that can happen. And I think that also it's good, but it's I think it's still a lot easier to get these type of kids to explore music than do this with adults that never listened to music, always had music just in the background, and then you came fired up and telling them, hey, did you hear that in that solo? Oh my god, it was awesome. And he said, what solo? You know?
So that's right. So the exposure is so important, and then having just a little bit fun with kids and get the kid engaged, and that's where the emotional part will come. A bit of identification, just like you identify with your guitar everywhere you go.
Yeah.
The guitar almost has become part of you, your body, your emotional being. So it's a really fascinating topic, Pavel. I just wonder whether we could finish the program with maybe you playing the music by yourself, or maybe the music of your band, something that grandparents and children would relate to.
Yeah, okay. Wait a second. I will just grab my guitar. Yeah, so the thing is, I probably won't gonna play anything that my band plays, because there's also one beautiful thing. Every time I was in a band, it was like hard rock or metal, and the guitar was the main part, the main riffs. It was basically the guitar was the defining factor of the music. But for last year, me and my band, we did a complete twist, and the bass for everything is like in hip hop. It's just drums and bass, and this is the pounding factor in there. And for me, it's a lot easier because they are doing all the how should I say it, all the backbone of the music, and what I do is just those little colors on the music. So for example, we have a good hard solid beat, and I play just with a little bit of delay, stuff like this. Yeah, just stuff like this. And we have a rapper who's rapping a music over that. So right now my position in the band is really easy as for playing, but for the other part, it's really challenging for me, because I was used to just to do riff and basically do the rock and roll construction of the music. But right now I'm just exploring what I can do on a guitar, and what are the interesting sounds that I can do with electric guitar and with effects that I have. So like I said, it's right now it's pretty challenging for me, but it's opening a whole nother world of making music, because I'm relieved of that part that I'm the important one, or the music stands on your riffs. And right now I can do basically whatever, just explore. And that's the beautiful thing. Not everything that I explore is good, but when I hit on something that is really good and Ben thinks that, so, oh man, that's the thing. It's like, oh yeah, what did you do? What did you do there? I was like, oh, it was just a mistake. It was great mistake again. And that's also a really interesting thing about music, because as a band, when you focus on I have to create the song and I think it's supposed to be like this, so let's think about it this way, and blah 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 blah, doesn't work this way.
Yes.
You just have to jam, trust the people that you are playing with, and it's like that you're playing one riff in a round circle. It's good or mediocre, or it's working somehow, and then somebody do that little mistake on 1 second, and during that jam everybody is like, oh, what was that? That was a mistake. Oh man, that was a beautiful mistake. Let's take that mistake, put it in a circle, and now we have a riff. Okay, let's find another mistakes. You know, that's why one of the last albums of Gaia Mesiah is called Excellent Mistake, because they basically didn't see each other for almost 8 years, except a few concerts. And George, the bass player, was still living in Australia back then. So he said, okay, I will come back to Czech Republic, but let's do it, you know, full time. So I'm coming back, and let's do it the way that we have 2 months, and let's create a whole nother album and whole nother music. So they came to studio, and everybody had just, you know, some riffs, some idea about anything, but all of that album is basically made out of those excellent mistakes that happened and created great music. That's why that album is called The Excellent Mistake.
Oh, that's
and it really full of excellent mistakes.
Yes, so one can put it in a more philosophical context. That's our little failures and mistakes and slips can actually be used in a creative way as well.
Yeah.
And that we can transform that material into something new, something different, and use it as opportunity for the creativity. Pavel, it's been a fabulous time to talk to you. Your enthusiasm, your passion is absolutely contagious. So we definitely will see you again. And we wish you all the best with your musical career, and your approach to music is very inspirational. So thank you for being our guest, and we're looking for another episode with you later in the future. All the best.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me, Jolanta. I had a really great time, and hopefully see you next time in the next episode.
Thank you, Pavel. See you next time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All the